living today. Hi everyone, Antonio Thornton. Day number 65. March 6th of 365 Science of Mind. And today's lesson is living today. And I have a quote here I found from Buddha that says, "The secret of health for both mind and body is not to mourn for the past, worry about the future, or anticipate troubles, but to live in the present moment wisely and earnestly." And again, that is from Buddha. Today's lesson reads, "It is not the particular negative experiences we have gone through in the past that destroy our happiness, but rather our emotional reaction to those experiences carried in the reservoir of memory." You know I'm going to come back to that. Many people suffer complete defeat without having really been defeated. Others succumb to the first time anything goes wrong. It is one of the aims of psychosomatic medicine, analytical psychology, and psychiatry to drain out the negative and emotional reactions to previous experiences. There is just as real an infection of the mind as there is any part of our physical body. These are some powerful words here. And I'll keep going. Almost invariably, our negative reactions to our life, our unhappiness, and perhaps most of our physical disorders are based on unhappy experiences that are buried alive in our memory. But yesterday can have no reality to us other than our reaction to it. It can have no real existence of its own in today other than as the lengthened shadows of yesterday. And so it is that the impulsions of yesterday are carried over into today, making today happy or disconsolate. So the reactions of today are prophetic of what we will experience tomorrow. Woo! Wow. So let's dive into today's lesson with the very first sentence. It is not the particular negative experiences we have gone through in the past that destroy our happiness, but rather our emotional reaction to those experiences carried in the reservoir of the memory. And you hear me say this time and time and time and time again. It's never the thing. It's our conversation about the thing. Something occurs, and the thing that occurs is just that. It is just the thing, but we have a conversation about the thing. We have a thought about the thing. We have a belief about the thing, and we act upon those things if it's true, and it creates whatever disruption it may in our mind. This is just a stylus. It's not a pretty stylus. It's not an ugly stylus. It's not a great stylus. It's not a horrible stylus. It is just a stylus. And if we want to take it even further, it's not even a stylus. It's just a hunk of metal and plastic that have been put together. And if we want to take it even further, it's not even that. It's just a bunch of elements. And if we want to take it even further than that, it's just a grouping of energy. That's really all it is when we really break it down. But this stylus can have a meaning for me, and it only has that meaning when I give it that. It only has a meaning when I give it that. Someone could walk up to me and call me all types of names or anything, and none of those things have meaning until I give them meaning. I think that's lesson or not lesson, but agreement. My apologies. Yeah, agreement number 4 of the 4 agreements is never take anything personally. Never take anything personally. It's because it's never about you at the end of the day, but it's all about you. when we think about it, and not to contradict, but what I mean by that is it's the thing that has occurred is not about you, it's about whatever happened over there, but it is about you and how you react to whatever thing has occurred. So if someone has done something or said something, you choose to receive it however you choose it, no matter what their intention is. No matter what their intention is. Even if someone came up, blah, 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 you so and so and such, you can choose to receive that as negative. You can choose to receive that any way you want. You can even choose to say, well, you know what, this person is confused. This person is confused right now. Not mad or angry with this person, just confused right now. You could also say, you know what does this person teach me right now? What lessons does this person have for me? They're calling me these names and saying these things to me. What lesson do they have for me? Am I holding the energy that attracts these types of situations? And I need to check myself and elevate my thinking so that I don't even attract the type of situations that could be perceived as negative? Is this person telling me something that might be true about myself, but they're telling me in a way that may be causing me disruption because of how I'm choosing to accept it? What is actually happening in that moment? A person is saying some things and you are interpreting it in a certain way. That's exactly what this talks about. And not only do we do that, we have that interpretation, we hold on to that interpretation, and then we store that interpretation, and then we continue responding to that interpretation. We continue reliving it in our memories. Because really, where is our past? Where is our past? Can you touch it? Can you grab it? Can you physically interact with your past? Can you point to it? Can you do anything in your past? No, you can't. There is only the now. There is only the now, and the past only exists in one place. It exists in your memory. It says here, these are experiences carried. No, I'm going to read that. Our emotional reaction to those experiences carried in the reservoir of memory. In the reservoir of memory. These next couple of sentences are so powerful. Many people suffer complete defeat without having really been defeated. What's really being defeated, for the most part, is death, right? If we want to look at it from that perspective, of course, we know that death is only a construct, but we won't get into that in this lesson. But in the general sense of our living physical experiences, the only real defeat is death. But some people suffer complete defeat without having really been defeated. Others succumb to the first time anything goes wrong. And that is by choice. We choose to accept a thing for either what it is, or we choose to label it for what we decide that it's going to be. We do that. Not the thing and not the person. We do that. And it talks about how all of any level of brain science, psychology, psychiatry, NLP, hypnosis, all of those things are designed primarily to do one single thing, is to drain out the negative emotion that is associated with past and previous experiences. Think about that for a moment. That almost all brain sciences are dedicated, and I guess I would say for the purpose of, emotional and mental support, but all these brain sciences are basically built around helping people deal with the past that doesn't exist other than in their minds. Now, I can't take anything away from what you lived. You might be telling me, well, hey, Antonio, I was raped when I was 14. Hey, Antonio, I did get stabbed when I was 19 years old. And here's the stab wound right here. Hey, Antonio, my father did leave me, and my family abandoned us, left us alone just to fend for ourselves. Hey, Antonio, my ex-girlfriend did break up with me and ruin my life. You could say all those things, and I'm not here to argue with you. But what I am here to tell you is that, can you point to any of those things? Even the scar, can you point to yourself being stabbed? No. You can point to a scar that's there, but you can't point to the actual experience of being stabbed again. That stab wound shows as a recollection of something that happened in the past that no longer exists. It no longer exists. And that, again, you're going to, well, not you, but some people are going to try to argue to say, well, no, that thing is real. That thing is so and so. Here's my scar. Here's my wound. Here's what happened. Here's paperwork to show it. So I always go back to, what are you fighting for? What are you campaigning for? Are you campaigning to hold on to the past so you can prove a point that you need to be depressed because of something that happened? Is that what you're campaigning for? And if fine, go. If that the case, go for it. I'm not here to tell you. I'm not here to tell you what you should and should not campaign for. But I will ask you the question: is how is it working out for you? How is depression working out for you? How is being afraid to go back into the world and do a thing working out for you? Yes, you may have gotten laughed at your first time you did a public speaking event. Well, yeah, okay. So what? Point to it. Show me. Where is it? You can probably show me a video, maybe, of it. But is that real at the end of the day? No. So do you want to hold on to that? Do you want to hold on to that memory? Do you want to hold on to that embarrassment? Do you want to hold on to that and make it real? And continue to make it real? Because what does it say here? What does it say? And so it is that the impulsions of yesterday are carried over into today, right? Making today happy or sad. Making today good or bad, right? Now, not only does your past affect the right now, but listen to this. So the reactions of today are prophetic of what we will experience tomorrow. So how long do you want to hold on to that past experience? How long do you want to hold on to that to prevent you from moving forward in any meaningful way in your life? How much of that past experience do you want to bring into the now to take forward into your future? How much do you want to do that? And as I always tell people, I haven't had an argument with anyone since the 90s. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to tell you that you're right or wrong. What I am going to do is I'm going to ask you, how's that working out for you? How's it working out? And if it's not, then I would consider letting it go. Let it go. Let it go. I don't know the rest of the lyrics anymore. I used to hear that song so much. My kids played that thing over and over. I think my mind now chooses to believe that that song doesn't exist anymore. So here we are at a point of making a choice. And I think that'll guide us right into our practical application for today. Take a moment to identify what you are holding on to that you may be recreating for your future. Listen to this. Our negative reactions to our life unhappiness and perhaps most of our physical disorders are based on unhappy experiences that are not only buried, but buried alive in our minds, in our memories. So what are you holding on to? Maybe take that thing and write it down on a sheet of paper, burn it. Maybe take that thing, write it down on a sheet of paper, rip it apart, take it on, put it down down a shredder or your garbage disposal. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I won't take any responsibility for any garbage disposals that may be damaged due to the comment I made a few moments ago. So maybe not put it down your garbage disposal, but destroy it in some form or fashion, whatever that might be. How can you physically destroy it in your physical presence and also destroy it simultaneously in your mind, in your spirit, in your emotions? How can you physically forget about it? One way you can do it is by not talking about it. By not talking about it. Can you stop talking about the thing that you might be holding on to. With that, let's go ahead and move into our contemplative and where'd it go? There we go. We're going to go ahead and move into our contemplative state by taking a deep breath before we get ready for our meditation and affirmation. And as always, I say these affirmations for myself. I say them in first person, speaking the truth that I know, and I welcome you to take on that truth as your reality as well. So we'll take a deep breath in and hold it and let that out. So let's take a deep breath in together. And we're going to hold it for just a second here. And then let it out. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not arrived. And I live in an eternal present filled with an everlasting good. There is nothing unhappy or morbid in my consciousness. I have no fear of yesterday, nor do I anticipate tomorrow with anything other than enthusiastic expectation. Everything good in my experience will create my future. I have no fear in looking backward or forward, but realize the eternal day in which I now live. Today is big with hope fulfilled, with love and life well lived. Tomorrow will provide its own blessings. And so it is. So thank you guys for living in today, living in the moment, letting go of the past, and looking forward to creating future moments of now that are fulfilled with peace, joy, love, abundance, prosperity, and whatever you desire for yourself. I always ask you to like, share, and comment. And I'm so appreciative of you when you do. So let's keep that energy moving forward, and we'll look forward to more likes, shares, and comments in the future. Signing off for today, guys. Another episode of 365 Science of Mind, Antonio Thornton. I look forward to talking with you tomorrow. Take care.